All right, everybody, welcome back to another Ask a Dev DevStream. If you are just catching up, we are making a game and we're trying to do it in a year. And it's basically we're working on a combat platformer as a kind of like an indie game. Like I said, my name's Kevin. We do these as part of our Patreon community to give everybody a chance to see kind of like behind the curtain, under the hood of what we're doing. And each of these, I try to make them a 1 hour compartmentalized kind of, not necessarily tutorial, but demonstration, whatever. Today, we are going to, or right now, we are going to try to implement a new ranged enemy. So that's the goal today. And we're going to do it in kind of like a stand-in sort of way. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let's make sure we have everything set up and good to go. And I'll show you exactly who we're talking about. So this is who we're talking about. This is not the character that we are definitely shipping. This is definitely a character that you all are going to be able to vote on. But I thought this would be a cool candidate to do a cool ranged lob effect as one of our ranged enemies. So what we need to do is we need to get this into game, is basically what the goal is. That's what we're doing. So, and what I like to do with these is, because I want to give players a visual for the upcoming playtest that's a little bit clear what they're looking at. We could use boxes, we could do all kinds of stuff like that, but the fact of the matter is, it's whether this is a box or a single static image is not, that's not going to make or break us. So let's do this. Let's take this and let's change our canvas size. And we do need to conform to our general canvas size that we've been using just to make our life easier. By the way, if it wasn't clear, this image is not done. It has not even been rendered yet, but that's okay. We definitely have some borders up here we need to get rid of. And down here. And if you recall, all of our sprites have been exported at a value of 794 is basically the floor. 794. Okay, so now that we have that, let's take and deselect and move this up. Just get this in place. Sort of centered. Okay, sort of centered. And then let's save this as a new enemy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Save as. We'll apply that transform. And this is going to go in our art folder. Character, NPC. This is the swamp. And we're going to call this range. Kind of want to say flower, but let's just call it range flower. Range flower. We could call it range A. No, you know what? Let's do flower insect. We'll come up with cooler names, but let's go flower insect flower. That'll be clear. We'll know which one we're talking about at least. And then if we go to our editor in here, this will be easier to copy. I think let's just check our folder structure for swamp, like the mid boss. Oh, we have a 2D skull crab. We have concept. Yeah, we could do that. So that's what we're gonna do. So inside our insect flower, we need a concept folder, because this is really the concept. This isn't even really idle pose or anything like that. Concept. We're just stealing this temporarily. So we'll save this here. And this is going to be insect flower concept. Okay. And then we'll export it as well. So let's export this as, no, not that export. Let's use this export. We're going to export save for web legacy because that's what we've been using. This should be a PNG. Mat is cancel. None. so we don't get any kind of extra highlights or pre-molts in it. 1024, I think all that looks good. Save. And we're gonna go back to that same folder, which should be in our Z drive, depot, art, char, MVC, swamp, insect flower, concept export, new folder, export. And we'll just save this right here. Cool. So we have the art that we need. That's great. Now let's hop in the engine. I'm not even sure what we were doing here. Yeah, I know what we were doing here. Okay, we'll check that out. We can compile and save this real quick. Okay. So if we look at under our character assets, we need a new one. And what we're going to do is let's create. I have had some trouble with just duplicating these things. Somewhat concerning. So I'm almost wondering if we should just make this by hand, but let's at least cheat and get the folder structure. So for this char, let's create a new folder here. We're going to call this insect flower. And then in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take melee A, I'm going to take all of this stuff, and I'm going to copy this into insect flower. We'll copy it here. Okay, and then we just need to do a global rename. All right, I wonder if there's a quick way. Let's do. I just want everything. Can I just do star? Nope. I got one. Not material. That's pretty good. That gets us a lot of stuff. So we can do that. So let's take all of this. And if you didn't know you can do that, it's actually really cool. You can do all kinds of ands and stuff in your searches. But what we're going to do is we are going to add, edit, no. There is a batch rename. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Batch rename. It's cool. It gives us old and new. So let's go melee A. Melee A. And we're going to go with insect flower instead. So all of these will get renamed, which is great. So let's apply that. One fell swoop. Now, nothing is connected. So this is not going to work yet. We also need to blow away all of our textures and everything because these aren't going to work. So let's go ahead and import this. Delete. And then we'll go ahead and we can get rid of this filter now. And we're going to import our temporary concept piece for the insect flower as our mesh. Okay, right click on this. Let's apply our 2D paper settings. Sure, let's save it. Let's just go ahead and double check. This all looks good. Let's go back to our here, right click, and let's create a sprite for this. So we're going to create a sprite. And then this is the one I want to open. And I want to set the center to be custom and the bottom, the Y value to be 794. So that way the axis, you can kind of see here the axis is now at the character's feet, which is what I want. So it lines up nicely. And then as far as the pixels per unit, we're going to find that out in a second. So let's go back and let's make a flipbook for this thing. Okay, so this is going to be not concept. We're going to call this the idle. And eventually we will replace this idle. Okay, so now we need to do the work. Now, one thing I do want to do is this BP insect flower, I have found that this is the one that has the problem. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to go back to my game folder. And for the 2D hero, not the 2D hero, 2D enemy base, I'm going to right click and create a child. And this is going to be our insect flower. Insect flower. And then let's drop that in our insect flower BP folder. move here. Okay, now we need to do all the connecting, and this will get us to having this character in game, and then we can start building its abilities. So by default, it has a fluffy squirrel. That is not right. So let's just grab the insect flower here. All right, this is kind of what I was talking about. So we're gonna have to, let's go ahead and take care of this right now. We're gonna need to adjust our capsule a little bit. So for now, let's do this. Let's take this sprite and move it down so that it's, actually we can know exactly how much to move it down by looking at our capsule half height. Our capsule half height right now is 200, so this thing should move down by 100, oh, minus 200 actually, because it's the half height. So that should have it perfectly aligned. Now we will need to make the capsule higher and stuff like that, but what I'm curious about right now is we need to do one more thing in our state machine. We need to, oh, interesting. These should not be exposed variables. That's terribly confusing. In this state machine, that's the class. Wait a minute. I'm missing, where is it? There should be a thing where I pick the state machine, but I don't actually see it. Anyways, let's try the insect flower here. Oh, it's because I didn't duplicate it. It's because I actually created a new one. Okay, so insect flowers there. We got a couple quick connections to do in here inside of our actual state machine, which is very basic because we're just this is just stand-in until we actually get all the real anim done, but it'll still be super helpful for players so that they can focus on gameplay, hopefully. So compile and save. So that's that. BP insect flower should be good to go. Compile and save that. Let's go back here. These textures are all saved. That's great. Blueprint. That's great. We're gonna need to update the pawn data. So we can do that right now. Inside here for our NPC, let's set our pawn data to be our insect flower. So at least it's pointing at the right pawn data. Save that. And then our pawn data is pointing at the wrong ability set. So we want this to be the insect flower ability set. So that's going to be that. We will be updating this as we start getting into, I think I want to try to do one, but maybe two abilities right today. So got all that. AI is going to have the same thing. We're going to have to get the controller to use the insect flower behavior tree. So compile and save that. Don't know what that was all about, but it definitely had a small heart attack. Let's double check our stream here real quick. Make sure we're still good to go. Yes, we are. Okay, great. Now, so back to our blueprint. I was thinking about not the ability set, the pawn data, which should be here. We got the pawn data, so that should be good. And then we do need the behavior tree, so that's going to be no, that's going to be the controller. That's what we need. This controller is going to be the insect flower AI controller. Okay, compile and save that. Now, the default controller is going to have this little guy running all over the place, I believe. Let's see what we're doing here. We do focus, we move to attack, and we wait. I don't want this character to move, actually. At least not in the same way that the previous move to attack worked. So I'm going to disconnect this for right now. And we're just going to have it spawn and attack, because that's really what this character is going to do. It's going to be a ranged character that requires something different of our player. Okay? We do need to update our ability set. Right now our ability set, it has jump, it has death, that's cool. This primary attack should be the insect flower primary attack. That's going to be one of the ones that we're updating. And we're going to have to give it health. Ooh, that's a really good point. So rather than health for melee A, we want it to be health for the insect flower. Okay, we can do that. So this is going to be the health. This sets all of the flower of this enemy's health just in one basic gameplay effect, which is cool. All right, at that point, theoretically, we should have done everything. So let's save all. And now let's take a look at something here before we run our first little test. Let's drop this over here. And then I want to put in a standalone spawn point here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and we're going to put it at 0 and Y. This should be fine. And then what we're going to do is rather than spawning a firehead, we're going to spawn an insect flower. And the number of enemies to spawn is 1. And team ID, I believe we can leave like that. So theoretically, if we play... Holy smokes, the dude is giant. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. It's actually kind of cool, actually. And he's doing melee attacks right now, which is definitely not what we want. I think it's safe to say that we want this dude half this size. I think. Let's just try half size and see what it looks like, okay? So to do that, if we go back to our texture and we bring up our sprite, what we can do is we can set our pixels per unit to 2. Save that because it's double, so now it interprets it as double. And if we press play and we go back to full screen again, that's still pretty good size. If we wanted to have fun, just so our enemies are of different types, maybe? Oh, you know what would be cool? Okay, I got an idea. Let's go 3/4. So, here's 1, 2. Rather than 2, let's go 5. That didn't seem to change. 1.5. Save. Okay, that's cool. That puts this top flower piece right in range of a single jump, which is kind of cool. What we could do is we could add a thing where if you jump attack and hit it there, it does more damage, for example. That might be fun later. But this is cool. Let's spawn some of our other enemies real quick just to see. These are fodder. Let's just kill all of our fodder so we're not worried about them. And let's bring in some of our melee and get a single item on that. We should have some melee. Yeah, so that's a standard melee size character. Oh, hold on, I need abilities. Let's go ruin Annihilator. Okay. I'm about to die. Let's see here. I think that's good. I think that's different. I think our standard enemies could be a little bit bigger. Yep. Okay, but let's go with that for now, and we'll decide to change it later. So, that was actually pretty good. Roughly, I don't know, 15 minutes? Is that what we're at here? Somewhere in there? Oh, 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Got a new character in the game. It's pretty cool. Okay, now we do need to do some work though. So here's where the work comes in. This is supposed to be a ranged character. So the primary attack for this character should be something different. Location, position, primary attack, primary attack. Okay, this is where stuff starts to get interesting. So what we need to do is let's take a look at one of our other characters that we know does ranged attacks. And that is the Firehead. So the Firehead's primary attack inherits from GA range, gameplay ability range, weapon attack base, which is different than the insect flower. So let's go ahead and reparent this. I'm going to reparent this to range attack That's dark energy. What? No, it's range weapon base. Reparent blueprint range weapon. GA range weapon attack base. Okay. Yep, we're gonna reparent this. Now, this gives us a different setup. We now have projectiles. What I want to do is I want to change our projectile to spawn. Right now it's spawning a dark energy projectile. Let's change this. Are we going to customize? Let's try a lob. Let's just try a default lob. Okay. And closest enemy distance, target actor, capsule rate. I've got to figure out what a bunch of these things are. Ability activations. Okay, let's just see if it's as simple as filling that in and see if it works. So either it's not triggering or spawning the lob is not working. So let's try something. Let's take the firehead. We know this firehead single shot works. Let's put this into, hold on, 0, 1, 1. What is this? Defensible attack range. Oh, we do need to make sure that they don't attack when they're stunned. That's important. So the flower won't attack when it's stunned. That's great. Ah, we need to change this to be, this is primary attack, this is primary range attack. Let's just change this to the primary attack, because that's what's being triggered. Okay, and let's go again. Oh, God, that scared me. I literally jumped because of the audio. There's got to be a range thing on this. I have to be right on top of it. Okay. There's something in our attack range that is not set. Target actor capsule radius. Somewhere in here, there's a radius. It's not in here. So it's got to be on the actor. So let's check. Let's check our insect flower VP. Let's check range. Nope. Radius. Radius. Capsule. No, that's not it either. Okay, we're gonna have to look this up. So when this GA range attack base triggers, what are we doing in here? We are getting actor info, we're checking to see if we're player, we're checking to see if we've drift duplicates, we're getting all actors of class, we're comparing the teams, we're doing a line trace start, and the end is from there. Okay, do we hit this first? We don't hit that until we get to a certain range. So something that's blocking this range. That range has to be the actor location, which is the other actor. Ooh, that doesn't make sense. Let's try that again and give it more time. Oh, wait a second. Let's look at our behavior tree. Wait, focus, attack. Hold up a second. Check attack range. This is what it is. Attack range is target line of sight. We're looking for the head, last seen, target enemy. Less than 150. Interesting. This value. Why? Oh. This is checking for melee attack range. That's the problem. We have two options. We could set the attack range. So let's promote this to a variable and do that. Let's promote this to a variable. And this is going to be attack range. It's going to have a default value of 150. We're going to make it instance editable and expose it on spawn. So it's going to default to 150. Let's check that out. And then for our ranged character, which is primary attack. No, it's in our behavior tree. This is attack range. If we click on it, you'll see there's an attack range now. Let's set this to how far should this thing be able to shoot? This thing should be able to shoot 1, 2, 4, that's 1600. Each of these is 100, remember? So each of the big ones is 400. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm almost like, let's try 3,000. Make it so it can attack from anywhere, almost. So 3,000, we are in the insect flower. Let's save that. And let's play. Still not hitting that. Attack range. Okay, we come in here. Is that true? It is true. And last scene time, we're not worried about that. Clear the value. So we do have a target enemy. So that is all true. We're not hitting that breakpoint though. Why not? So if we go, we hit the checking the target. Interesting. We're not actually triggering the attack. So does the attack also have an attack range? It does. 400. Okay, so let's go back to our behavior tree. It does not look like the attack is exposed, just like before. So let's take this attack range instance editable, expose on spawn, compile and save. That way we don't have to redo it every single time. And then rather than 400, we said 3,000. So save that, and then save all just in case we get one of our lovely blue screens. And go play. Oh, I hit a breakpoint. Okay, it didn't die. We hit a breakpoint. We need to get rid of our breakpoints. So let's go ahead and do this like this, because you can't get back to it. Okay, that's all actors of class. Okay, we are adding unique targets now. There we go. So we're shooting. Okay. Now, so at least we got our projectile shooting, which is great. We do have an issue where it is not shooting straight at me. It is just shooting. If I get within a certain range, interesting, it stopped. I wonder why it would stop. Okay. We're getting there though. We're getting there. So what kind of range projectile did we put on this thing? We put on a particular targeted shot. That's interesting that it's not. Well, let's change that to lob. Lob with target. See what this does. Okay, it's shooting. It's lobbing, which is cool. That's what I wanted. It is not lobbing with the target though. It is luckily hitting me. It is not. Oh, there we go. Once I get within a certain range, 400 it looks like. What is it doing? It hits me every time when it does shoot. So in our behavior tree, where are we? We're waiting somewhere between a second, and we're setting focus. When we do this attack, try to activate abilities by tag. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why is it waiting 7 seconds before it tries to shoot again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a long time. Hold on, what is going on? It tries to attack every 0.5 to 1.5 seconds. It checks the range every 0.1 seconds. There's no way there's a 20. There's no 7-second wait in here. So hold on a second. I want to know. I want to know what this is. Let's put a print here. Print string. In range. Let's do an append. In range. In range question mark. And let's feed this in before we determine this. Okay? Let's play. True, true, true. I'm in range. But it's not attacking. I'm in range, but it's not attacking. Oh, I have breakpoints. Oh, damn it. I forgot. That's why. Let's go again. In range. Okay, so we're trying to activate. That's 1. I'm still in range. I'm still in range, but this thing is not targeting me. Alright, the plot thickens. So the ranged weapon, when we activate this ability, that's the weapon attack base. So now it's taking a long time before it's doing it. There we go. We finally came in here. That's cool. We don't have target actors. We're clear. We get character actor and the control pawn. So these should be our insect flowers. They are. Okay, we're going to commit that ability. We're going to check to see if it has the player, which it should not. So the magic type is whatever this is going to be. Shard stasis. Okay, cool. And then we are going to check to see if the 2D targeting component is valid, which it should not be. So we should skip all of this and come straight to here, which we do. Alright, and then we're going to get all of the paper characters. Cool. And we're going to check to see if it's not us. So the character actor is the blueprint. And the first one we're checking against is... Interesting, it's not. It's saying no data. Why is that no data? "2D hero pawn." Okay, that's cool. And no debug data. But it still does it. But it's adding... Is it adding none to this array? So if we go back, now we're in here. Let's look at our target actors array real quick. It has 1 value in it. It has a 2D... Yeah, this is a debugging issue. Okay, so it goes through, it does that. That's fine. The flowers itself. So it gets all the drift duplicates, which we don't have. Okay, it's checking. This is for checking for drift enemies. We get the closest enemy distance. We set our target actor to nothing. We get our target actor is greater than 0, which it is. Target actor capsule radius is 0. Okay, and then for each of our target actors we're going to go through, we are going to check to see if it is dead or dying, as long as it's false, and the distance from us to it is less than the closest, which it is. It's going to set the target actor to be the pawn and the closest distance to be that 754. And it's also going to set our capsule radius to be 40. Okay. Then that's going to be done. And depending on how many of these things we're spawning, we're going to spawn it where we are. So this should spawn, you know what, we need to put a debug print right here. This should spawn a projectile, and the target actor is the hero. And it should be spawning a projectile of type lob with target. And this is going to be if we have any duplicates. So it did. Okay, so it spawned it. It definitely spawned it, but the problem is it didn't use the target. So something's going on inside of our lob with target. So let's check our lob with target. Compile and save. Range attack, no, insect. Lob with target. Lob with target is currently set to time before explode. It is set to lob with target. And it detonates. Okay. So this is part of our projectile base. If we look at this, what we need to check is determine velocity. I believe it's in here. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and press play. I'm looking for one. Okay, yeah, these are clearly not hitting me. Okay, so the instigator in this case is the insect flower. We're gonna get their ability component. Is it disoriented? False. That's great. Okay, is it a straight shot? If it's not equal to straight shot, so that's true. We're gonna check if the target actor is valid. Why is our target actor invalid? That's our problem. When we come in here, our target actor is invalid. Event actor begin overlap. Event begin play. How in the world is our target actor invalid? That would be right here. Alright, let's go. Press play. Okay, so this time through, target actor is 2D hero pawn. It is not invalid. We're going to begin play. Still coming up invalid. Okay, something funky is going on here. So here we go. Target actor is the 2D enemy pawn. That's cool. Here's our begin play. We come in here. Target actor is valid. It is. If it is valid, oh, look at this. What is all this? Base attack range from the combat set. Oh. Okay. So I did not realize that we were doing this. So our combat set for these enemies does not account for this. Okay, so let's see if we can fix this. So our enemy health for the insect flower, this is the one that determines each of our attributes: max health, health, shield for this character when it starts. Okay, we want a similar thing, but for the combat set. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to duplicate this. This is going to be enemy combat. Combat. We've never had to do this before because this is the first range character we've set up that wasn't left over from the old way. Okay, so inside of our combat, let's delete all, we don't need all of these. All we need is we need one. And we're going to say combat set base attack range. We're going to override it. We're going to set it as 3,000. Okay, so now with that new range, does it actually target us every time? All right, I'm going to get rid of this blueprint. Let's just go ahead and go through here. This should be, hold up a second, 400. Where's it getting that in combat? What? Who is this? Lyra. It should not be 400 here. This is somehow, hold on. Okay, so Lyra combat base attack range. It's like it's not being set. Oh, did we not grant the ability set? Oh, maybe that's what it was. That is clearly 3,000, but we didn't actually add it in. We need to add it in. Okay, so if we go here and we go insect flower, combat, we save that, save all. We are almost there, you all. I can feel it. Let's go ahead and press play. Okay, so we're determining the velocity vector. We're going to come in here. Target actor. Oh, it's still invalid? Why? We still got to be out of range. Target actor clearly is the pawn. Come in here. What is this value? 400 still. This is not, our combat set base attack range is not being set properly. This is for the insect flower. Gameplay effect, combat insect flower. Override. This is instant. Range. There's only one. This should work. Let's try one other thing. On this health set. Let's see if we add it, because we know this one's being added. Okay, if we go range here. Range. And we're going to go override. A scalable float of 3,000. And let's see if that sticks. Target actor, that's good. Yeah, it's not sticking. Something is going on where that combat set is not being granted. So let's just test our theory. We're going to test our theory and call it a win. And then I'm going to go figure out why this is happening. And where we're going to do that is inside of our projectile. When we do this test, let's just disconnect this and try 3,000. Because if this actually returned 3,000 properly, would it actually target us? It's not. Still not. Okay, what? breakpoint right here. We hit the breakpoint. Okay. The distance is 900. Is 3000 plus the sphere capsule radius greater than 900? That should be true. It is true. What is our target actor set to right now? Okay, so that's true. Okay, so actually that is only half the problem apparently. If it is a paper character, we're getting our instigator ability system. We're checking to see if it's a character. We're ignoring it. Determine velocity vector, let's go in here. In here, we're checking to see if the component, it is. Then we're gonna go through here, and our target actor should be valid at this point. It is. Okay, so we at least got that past that one. So now we're up here. This is predicted velocity from our target actor, cool. Time to target is gonna be 0, okay. Predicted velocity, time to target, local, etc. Then it checks to see is the local velocity greater than or equal to 1, which it's not. So this should be false. Yep, that's false. So we're not going to use the predicted velocity basically. And this is going to be the actor location normalized times 2000. Then we're going to switch. This is a lob with target. It should come down here. It does. What is this checking? It is checking, once again, we're checking the combat range. Okay, so it's the same problem. We just need to fix it. Let's go 3000 here. Hard code this for right now. And then we'll go back and we'll figure out why our ability system is not doing this. So let's just let it ride. There it is. All of a sudden, it's hitting us every time. Okay. So basically, we have a bug somewhere where it is not getting the combat range properly. Also, why did it stop shooting for so long? So we have two bugs that we're going to chase down. But for the most part, we were able to get in a whole brand new range character, which is actually pretty cool. Now, the other effect that I want to do that we probably aren't going to do, it just kind of depends on what I get done. But what we're going to do is I want to make it so that as the player approaches this, it sends off a whole barrage of like an umbrella of range attacks to protect itself from melee attacks. And the goal is to force the player to use their ranged ability. That's what I'm thinking. And I think it's worth a shot. I think the character design lends itself to something like that. It's kind of fun, so that's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. But overall, that's kind of like the whole process. And in approximately an hour, we were able to stand up a new character, get an attack. Still working out some bugs in the overall system, but not too bad overall. And if we can stand up new enemies like this pretty quickly, that'll be awesome. As always, huge shout out to our Patreon community who's making all this possible, as well as all of you who are watching this video. If you like what we're doing, helping spread the word is amazing. We've got tips down below. We got the Patreon community, all those kinds of things. Let us know what you think in the comments. My name's Kevin. We'll see you in an upcoming devlog or live stream. Take it easy.